So I'm Deena Marzuki. I'm 34 this year. I run an event management company, but at the same time, I'm also doing work on PCOS. I am a certified life coach. I really did it because I wanted to help the women. Yeah, and a mother. I'm really just a simple person who grew up with a lot of different traumas and different misunderstandings from society simply because I'm on the heavier side of weight, or also on the bigger side of, like, we're talking about body shapes and height, right? I'm 175 cm. It wasn't really a size that was a norm in the Asian community. I already had symptoms since I was a very young girl, but I didn't know it was symptoms of PCOS specifically, because I think when I was growing up, PCOS wasn't a thing that a lot of people were talking about. Also, it was considered taboo in our society. And because I come from a Malay Chinese background, anything bad must be hidden. It's that concept, you know? I was officially diagnosed with PCOS by an OBGYN at 17. And the reason why I went for that visit was because I wasn't getting my period at all. And I had severe weight gain and excessive hair growth at my mustache and chin area. And also my overall body hair was thicker than a female hair should be. It's more like a manlier hair. So I didn't know, when I went there, the whole consultation was pretty daunting, because I think she ran a couple blood tests and then she showed me that I had some cysts in my ovaries. So when we sat down, the doctor did explain to me briefly, okay, hey, you have PCOS. You need to take care of your weight. You need to lose weight, and there will be a possibility that you'll be infertile. I think during that time, the only thing that was bothering me or really made it a traumatic consultation was the fact that she told me I would be infertile, because I have wanted a child since I was 7 years old. I was one of those kids that was pushing that baby toy stroller around. I was that child. Then she was like, that's okay, for now we can put you on birth control pills. It would regulate your period. It would help with your weight gain and all your other symptoms. So I said, okay. The birth control pills didn't help me, unfortunately. And it only made my symptoms worse. Because of the water retention, I gained weight even more. My headache was multiplied. It can sometimes go into full-blown migraines. The excessive hair growth at the mustache and all the other places did not stop. It didn't even lessen. It didn't even lighten itself. During that time, I also fell into drug addiction, which only exacerbated my PCOS symptoms. When I stopped addiction, and then that's when my weight gain shot up to 110 kilos. That was when I was on drugs. I was 49 kg. It shot up to 110 in a matter of 2 months. I also, had problems with mental health, and I think the mental health problems really came from me being overweight. And then, there were a couple of times I remembered very clearly that I would go out and people would be like, "Wow, besar lagi sekarang, you're so big." I mean, it's like, I already know that, must you say it, Captain Obvious, So it was daunting. I think I remembered at one point, I even decided hey, I don't want to go out. I don't want people to ask me questions. At the tender age of 23, I didn't understand much, and I just recovered from my drug addiction. So I think my mental stability really wasn't there to handle the backlash of people talking about my weight, I think that's why I'm so inspired to do this, my PCOS and this NGO, to ensure that for something a woman can do in a year can be done in a year instead of 8 years like me. I did it for 8 years, the trial and error, going to different doctors, spending so much money on different specialists just to find out what's wrong with me. I think I was at 2018 and I decided to just stop everything and decided to do research. I think 2018 was when I aggressively did research, joined communities all over the world, mainly in Canada and America, because the unfortunate part is Malaysia don't have one. In 2019, I met my husband, who is still today my pillar of strength for everything. I think his presence in my life healed the trauma of my body dysmorphia as I was growing up, because I don't think there was ever once that he ever said to me hey, you gotta lose weight. And I think that's what I experienced with all my ex-partner. And I think it was also the way that my husband treated me. He was very supportive, Of course, I had to repeat myself to him what PCOS was. I got to educate, And at that time, also, my family was very supportive because I started to understand what PCOS was better. I understood what type I had, like all the severe types, and I understood what kind of things I had to do and what kind of things I want people around me to do to support me. So it's always better to know and be aware of your body than to just not. Like, I believe our menstrual period is like our report card. It would tell you like if you had a good month last month. So let's say you had a heavy month at work, right? Stress is high, weight gain and whatnot. Your period won't come on time. So if you had a good month, I wouldn't say easy. Tipu lah kalau I cakap, a non-stressful month. Like, who has a non-stressful month? You had you had time to take care of your stress. You went to work out, did things to release stress. Then your period comes monthly, no pain, all good. Then you had a good month. With PCOS, it really teaches you patience. It's like if you do today, you only see the result 3 months later. So you have to keep at it. And that's some of the things I motivate the women I talk to. I tell them, you may do it for the 1 month and don't see the result. Come back to me and tell me how you feel. If you need that, pick me up, Because a lot of women patah semangat. Confirm, and I know that I patah semangat all the time last time, and I didn't have anyone to look to. I couldn't talk to my mom, I couldn't talk to my sister. Nobody could understand what kind of pick me up I needed, until I found my tribe. Women out there to understand that with PCOS, like, you can't allow the society to challenge your weight and the way you think about yourself, because that was my problem growing up. Like, I was growing up being called Sasquatch and Bigfoot because I didn't fit into the norm of an Asian body size. But I think women need to focus on being fit rather than body shape, because I've seen women who are like 90 kgs or like 100 kilos that can run better than a 60 kilo woman. It's really not about the weight. It's really about like where you are in your fitness journey. In my many counseling to women or talking to women with PCOS, I've never found a woman with PCOS that is not a hard worker. I have noticed that women with PCOS, because they have this shortcoming of their condition, they overcompensate in their career. It's a bad and good balance, but I think women out there shouldn't be too worried that PCOS will get in the way. It's a matter of finding the balance. I always tell women to find what can help release the stress. So for example, for some women, they go boxing. Some women, they go yoga. For some women, they go Pilates. Find the time. That's one. Or I said some women, they go get back home, they go on YouTube and then they go to this like dance workout and just dance and be silly. Or some women, they like to do meditation or a more stagnant activity like writing, Netflix and chill. But everyone is different. Of course, everyone is different. How they're able to afford those activities are all different. That's why I like to introduce people to online workouts or community workouts that are at the public parks that are free. Joining a tribe is also one. So whenever people are feeling down from work, they can always talk about it on a Facebook group or reach out to anybody that's close to them. I do think that employers need to be more understanding to the women's reproduction health when it comes to not only PCOS but also endometriosis or anything that causes our ovaries to cause pain. But I don't see any issues with women doing the work. It's just more of a level of understanding from the public.